Hello and welcome, my dear friends. Welcome to the review of Sheaffer Sentinel fountain pen. It comes in this beautiful glossy burgundy with gold trims. Well, actually, this beautiful Sheaffer made in Japan by Sailor was gifted to me from a friend, a fellow collector of fountain pens. And yes, my friends, I don't have many fountain pens made in Japan in my collection. But let me tell you, this Sheaffer is a very interesting fountain pen, and I like the build quality of this thing. So let me zoom a little bit on it. So like I told you, it comes in this beautiful glossy burgundy finish. You can see the wonderful trims. I simply love the clip. And on the clip, we have an S and a point. It's quite interesting. When I received this pen, I thought that this S was simply cut in the metal, but in fact, if we pay attention, we can see a plastic piece right over here. So you can see that plastic piece, and actually that plastic piece also extends at this S, and this S is actually cut in the clip. Let me test the clip, my friends. So it's quite a springy clip. Okay, on the cap we have painted Sheaffer, and very interesting, my friends, we have Nippon Sei Japan. Well, Nippon, in a translation, the land of the rising sun, of course, refers to Japan, and Sei translates roughly to made in. So, made in Japan. Very interesting. Not all the Sheaffers have this mention on them. So, guys, this was a pen made in Japan by Sailor. The cap is a pressure fit cap, and it removes. We can see another shade of burgundy, this time a light shade of burgundy in the grip section. We can see also the gold trimmings here and here, and we can see a beautiful gold plated nib. On it engraved Sheaffer F4 and the size of the nib. Like a distinguished fact about this nib, it has a very large heart shape breathing hole right over there. On the back we have a simple plastic feeder. And guys, if we unscrew the barrel, so first of all, I sense that this is a metallic part, but if we zoom on it, we have here a plastic part which is glued to the metal, and here plastic, here plastic. I don't have a problem because this is reinforced with this metallic material, so it's quite resistant over here. No possibility of bending this pen. And quite interesting, this uses Sheaffer. So Sheaffer cartridges, Sheaffer cartridge number 2, the color jet black, originally the color, Sheaffer Skip ink. And guys, another sticker. This is an original sticker, but if we zoom on it, we can see that originally it had cartouche. Cartouche, I think it's cartridge in French, and slim. So a slim cartridge. It uses slim cartridges. But guys, I was curious to see if it can accommodate also international size ink cartridges, and for this reason I have here an international ink cartridge, a German ink cartridge made by Schneider, and let me show it to you. So this is a Schneider international ink cartridge. If we put them side by side, we can see that the diameter of the entry point is the same, and in fact I tried to fit the international ink cartridge in it, and you can see a perfect fit. But for the writing sample, I will fill up this with ink. And guys, I'm trying to find a color close to the burgundy. So for this, remember that this originally contains some black ink. I will refill this with ink. Okay, I have here a medical syringe, so I will be careful when I will draw up the ink. Okay, let's put this here, and for the ink I will use this red Faber-Castell ink I recently reviewed, my friends, and I will draw up the ink. Let's give it a little shake before. Now, okay, I will draw up the ink. Let's put the needle in the syringe. Okay, let's draw up the ink like this. Not a large quantity of ink. Let's see if I can fill up this cartridge. Okay, on this part, so like this, we will fill up the ink cartridge. And guys, because we had that black ink, I'm expecting to have a similar burgundy color to the pen, so I will put the cartridge like this. Let me close the ink bottle, but before I will close the ink bottle, let me put up the excess of ink inside. Okay, like this. So guys, when I receive fountain pens and they have their original cartridge, I will always try to reuse that cartridge by refill it with ink from the syringe. So let me see now. Okay, before I will do the writing sample, I will leave the dimension on the screen. By the way, guys, I will leave the total weight, including this ink cartridge full of ink. So for the writing sample, I will use my notepad, which has Herlitz paper. So before I will do the writing sample, I will try to see if the ink has reached the nib section. I will do also like this to facilitate the ink flow. And no, it didn't reach the nib section. So for this reason, I will simply put a little bit of pressure on the plastic cartridge like this, and you can see there is a small I was expecting another shade, but it appears that this had quite a large quantity of black ink remained in it. Let's see, like this. And I think that the ink flow is now correct, and I can do a proper writing session. So let me see if we can post this pen. And yes, we can post it. It's quite elegant in the hand, and I simply love the glossy finish. It has a quite interesting aspect to it. So this metal part gives it a quite luxury feeling to this fountain pen. So let me change the angle of the camera like this, my friends. Okay, and now I am ready to write with it. So guys, what do I have here? Let's give it a little zoom, yes. So guys, here I have a Sheaffer, Sailor, Sentinel, this version is finished in burgundy. So let's put in burgundy version, burgundy. Okay, this particular pen was made in Japan by Sailor. In fact, I've read on the internet, my friends, that Sheaffer and Sailor, the Americans and the Japanese from Sailor, had a partnership. Especially Sheaffer helped them a lot after the end of World War II, and they actually had a partnership for several years. And this particular pen was actually made by Sailor, and they put on the nib, the F4 nib, they engraved the nib with the Sheaffer brand. And it's also interesting, my friends, that we see this S on the clip, and of course S stands for Sheaffer, but S can stand also from Sailor. Okay, so made in Japan by Sailor. I think that this pen was made around, let's say, in the 1980s, early 1980s. Actually, this has a design that reminds me of the slim design of the fountain pens made in the 1970s. Okay, this is fitted, like I told you, with a steel nib, gold plated, the so-called F4 nib, and actually we have also the size of the nib. This has a M for a medium nib. Okay, my friends, let's see right now if we have some flex to this steel nib, and I'm yes, you can see no flex to this nib, no flex. It seems to be a juicy nib, and let me show it to you. So you can see quite juicy. Let me test if we have some line variance. Here I'm not applying pressure, and here I'm starting to apply pressure. And probably you can see no line variance to this nib and the pen. Being a juicy nib, I will expect it to do signatures quite nice, and you can see it does signatures quite nice. And I'm curious to see if we can reverse write with this. So reverse writing. I'm surprised no scratches, so it definitely can reverse write. And this is one of the few nibs that writes in reverse writing as it writes in normal writing. So M in reverse writing and also M in simple writing. Very, very interesting. Not often you see a pen, a nib that writes the same in reverse as it does in simple writing. Okay, now guys, let me tell you about the quick brown fox that jumps over the lazy dog. So guys, you can see it writes quite nice. Let me tell you, I'm quite impressed about this beautiful Sheaffer made by the Japanese from Sailor. Now I can see the appeal of Japanese fountain pens. Let me tell you, my friends, I don't possess in my collection many fountain pens made in Japan, and right now I can tell you I know what I'm missing. So this beautiful product made by Sailor, it is amazing. I simply love it, guys. So the finish is incredible. I don't know if you can see in the video, but this has an appearance of an interesting pen. I also like the finish back on the top of the cap. So this is a beautiful pen. So if you ever encounter a Sheaffer Sentinel, especially with this written on it, Nippon Sei Japan, buy it, guys. This is quite a beautiful pen, but not only it is a beautiful pen, but this wonderful F4 steel nib gold plated, it is amazing. It writes beautifully, and again I'm quite impressed about the reverse writing capability and the overall feeling of this wonderful pen. So this was its review, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. Again, Japanese fountain pens, not a myth, not a legend. They actually compare with the German fountain pens, so the high level quality is in this piece. Again, this was its review. I'm very happy that I could add it to my collection. If we are speaking about its value, I've seen it sell on the internet for values between 30 euros or 50 euros. So in that category of price, again, I receive it as a present in a lot of fountain pens sent to me by a great collector, a Romanian collector that works abroad. So I thank you for this fountain pen, my friend. This was his review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, my dear friends. And God bless you all. Bye-bye.